Well, while the UK is struggling with political instability, the economic instability is becoming increasingly worrying for average households.
On September 26th, the economy of UK, one of the largest economies in the world, collapsed. And right now, the country is at the verge of a very sinister crisis. Just some decades ago, the UK's economy was one of the strongest economies and rapidly growing super fast. But right now, the country is in a very severe economic crisis. The country's currency is crashing and it has doubled its debt. You see, the country's inflation rate has gone up to 10% this year, the highest in over 40 years' time. The question now is, how could such disaster happen, and what is the effect on the citizens of UK and the world at large? But before we take a look at the economic crisis in UK, let's take a deep look at the economy of UK decades ago. You see, back in 2007, every report predicted that the economy was on a smooth growth. Some economists predicted that the economy would see growth of 3% per year. Same year in 2007, the pound was worth $2. You see, from the 1990s to early 2007, the UK economy grew almost faster than any other country. Everything was moving on perfectly until 2008 financial crash. The financial crisis in 2008 impact on UK's economy was more significant than any other countries. This is because it had to do with several factors unique to only UK. The UK had no big manufacturing base, and the economy depended on financial services, real estate, and retail sales for growth. This growth lacked substance as it relied heavily on the risk credit borrowing. You see, to just let you know how damaging the recession was in 2008, the debt of UK before the recession was 41.9%, that is in 2007. And after the recession, 5 years later, the debt doubled to 83.2%. And now, as of 2022, the debt of UK is now 98.6%. As a result of this, tax has risen for institutes. You see, the pressure from COVID has lowered energy supply. This has combined with already skyrocketed price of goods. Also, Putin's invasion of Ukraine means that all the oil and gas that Russia used to sell to European Union vanished almost instantly. As the supply dropped, the demand increased, causing even the market price to get out of control. This is very bad because UK relies on gas for almost half of its electricity. This means as the demand for power increases, it will become very difficult for the poor to heat up their houses as winter draws near. Gas keeps getting more and more expensive because Putin has turned off gas pipes. That is why more than 70% pubs of UK do not expect to survive winter as energy costs soar. This will pose a very dangerous threat to UK job market because more than 35,000 pubs are expected to run out of business, leaving tens of thousands of people unemployed. Everything was seen bright for UK as Boris Johnson resigned and Liz Truss in, because people thought that Liz Truss will help stabilize the economy. Liz Truss said she will continue with Boris' policy, but immediately she drew out some drastic changes that the country has never seen for decades. And one of the first things that Liz Truss did was to announce a limit of amount of money on average family could spend on energy. The Bank of England moved to call a financial revolt, announcing that it will temporarily buy an unlimited quantity of bonds to prevent disorderly trading from destabilizing the British economy. The central bank acted after investors resoundingly rejected Prime Minister Liz Truss' plan to use borrowed money to pay for tax cuts while spending freely on insulated consumers from soaring energy bills. After the government unveiled its proposal Friday, investors fearing it will aggravate inflation that is already near 10%, dumped government bonds and British pound. As of making this video, the pound is now equal to $1.03, the worst ever in the history of the British. You see, let me take time to explain the already dumped government bonds for you to understand it better. You see, in normal market, a fund could very well borrow money and buy bonds and then pay the loan back when he sells the bonds, while making a little extra profit. But as in 2022, where bonds value are declining, those same funds will borrow money, buy bonds, and then sell it at a lower price than bought and owe money at the end. Typically, funds like this have cash on hand to cover up any type of unexpected emergency, but when funds were losing money at such a fast pace, they ran out of cash reserves and couldn't come up with any enough collateral, which forced them to sell anything they could to stay afloat. As a result, the Bank of England made the choice to step in and purchase failing bond prices to stabilize the economy or the market, essentially acting as a backstop to prevent prices to falling any further. However, the cost of living in the UK is too high for the average person. But according to BBC News, the cost of energy is the key reason why things are getting more expensive. For instance, the price of food and non-alcoholic drinks rose up to 14.6% in September, reaching its highest level since April 1980. The Bank of England's traditional response to rising inflation is to raise interest rates. This can be encouraging people to save, but means that people with mortgage see their payment or their monthly payment always goes up. Raising interest rates will make borrowing more expensive, and it is hoped that people will have less to spend. As a result, they will buy fewer things and prices will stop rising so fast. Okay, if you are in the UK, know that it is not only in the UK that the economy is collapsing. It is a global thing and not only in UK. You can check out my video on China's economy in the description box and the comment section as well. So until then, I will see you in the next one. As always, hand to head, salute. Subscribe if you are new in order to help us out.